All right. Welcome, Black, from the waist down to the podcast.
Welcome back.
If you didn't listen to the first episode where we talked about Basic Printer and went through his entire discography, go check that out. Otherwise, enjoy this second episode, or welcome for the first time if you haven't watched the first episode, or listened. I mean, you can do both. There's normally a video game playing on screen in the background, and also you can see the numbers of our ranking pop up and disappear, and the cover art for the albums come and go, as well as the names of the track that we're on. So it is kind of a visual thing, but it's more meant to be an audio focused show because it is a podcast. But we just got done watching the Minnesota Warriors versus the Omaha Beef. If you don't know who those teams are, I don't blame you. They're part of the National Arena League. Arena football still exists. Yes, it didn't go away in 2003. Anyways, the biggest upset in NHL history, or NAL history, probably the biggest upset in arena history, the Warriors actually beat the Beef. The Beef are two-time champions, and the Warriors are a semi-pro team filled with old men and third-ranked arena players. So it was quite a game. I was surprised the entire way through.
Ouch. It's not good. I'd probably be pissed too.
Yeah?
If I lost to a bunch of old men and third-ranked guys,
yeah,
I'd be kicking my ass a little bit right now.
And I'm glad you're finally getting into arena football. Not that I forced you or anything.
Not at all. I'm not a prisoner in this.
This episode we'll be listening to Braintenna. Brain and antenna. If you look at the picture on the screen, I have the Simpsons TV with an antenna, and then SpongeBob with his brain exposed from the Halloween special. So there's actually not a lot of songs for us to listen to. I think there's one album and one EP. This will be a shorter episode, much shorter than the Basic Printer episode. But the first one on the 7 Deadly Sins album is Sloth. And make sure you send this podcast to somebody with overly sensitive nipples.
Does that count me?
Do you have overly sensitive nipples?
Yeah.
There's been plenty of women that have told me that they don't get any pleasure from their breasts being played with.
That's unfortunate.
Who is texting me? Except until they meet me.
Until they meet you. Or until they get their nipples pierced. And
all this. Oh, I did hear that adds sensitivity to it.
It does.
Alright, I'm going to bust out this 8-track player and play Sloth from the 7 Deadly Sins album by Braintenna.
My brain!
And also, I got rid of all the interns and everybody. Our songs are now going to be handled by Hope Try Edit and Bunny Go Jump 3P, so they'll be the ones loading up the songs now.
You're listening to The Sweep.
That boy ain't right.
I was making a funny. The beginning of the song sounds like THX movie logo. Mwah. You don't remember that from any beginning of the movies?
I don't know. I'm sure I've seen it at some point. Oh. Yeah? Yeah, sure did.
I just pulled up the THX logo, which I didn't know was a Lucasfilm thing.
I had forgotten.
Yeah, it says Lucasfilm. I completely have never associated those two entities together.
Neither have I.
So something I was curious about before listening to the songs, the albums have gimmicks. So the 7 Deadly Sins album has each song titled after the 7 Deadly Sins. The second album, the Traveler's album, has each song after a planet. I was wondering if they were just named that or if they specifically were going to be singing about that. And they do. He says, "I don't want to move" during the Sloth song. That was cool. I think it dragged on a little bit. It might have been better to have it a tad bit shorter. There is going to be a lot of drums in these songs because I believe the lead singer is also the drummer.
Sick.
Based off some of the Facebook posts. And I will link his YouTube channel in the description because he does do all of the drum beats for all of the Braintenna songs as well as like covers for other songs.
I dug it. It was slightly maybe too long, but I did not expect the voice.
Oh, it was very Tool. That's what I said during the song. Why can't we be sober?
Maynard.
Right now I'm drinking Rockstar Watermelon because We were going to record last night, but I got a little too drunk, so I don't know how cognizant I would be if recording last night. We're recording now, so you get sobered on, unfortunately.
Oh, darn it.
I'm going to give that song 75 McDonald's Big and Tasties out of 100.
I think I'm going to have to do 81. Big and Tasties. Oh, I remember the Big and Tasty. That's one of my favorites.
I can see the age gap. Because I think
Fuck off.
I think that went away when I was still pretty young. I don't know the exact years that the Big and Tasty were a thing, but I'm pretty sure
I'm pretty sure we were both alive.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that was like a thing from like my birth to about maybe 11 years old. Let's see. I'm curious now.
Now we gotta find out.
I was almost exactly correct.
Fuck off.
1997 to 2002.
3.
Okay, I think it was completely removed in 2003, but in 2002 is when it actually ended, I guess. From 3 to, 7? 2002. I knew I was young. I specifically remember that my dad's dad liked the Big and Tasty. He wouldn't eat at many fast food establishments, though, because he said when he was younger, he worked with a large African-American woman that would use her armpit to crush the patties.
What?
So you got the little, like, ball of meat, and you put it in the middle of your armpit, and you go, oop. Like you're doing a fart noise.
Ew!
And then you flatten it out and then you cook it.
What about armpit hair and deodorant?
Oh, I'm sure she didn't wear deodorant. That just adds flavor, baby. Alright.
You are barf in the other direction.
So you're giving it 81 McDonald's Big and Tasties out of 100.
Yeah.
Hopefully I have secured an interview with Basic Printer. It's either released before this episode or it'll be after this episode or not at all if they decide not to talk to me anymore. But we are already ranking these songs much higher because it's a genre that we actually enjoy instead of glitcho pop, which I'm still not entirely sure what that is, but I'm sure I will learn from Basic Printer. And he told me that he has a lot to say, and I'm scared.
Oh boy. Maybe I should be too.
And make sure you send this podcast to somebody that queefs really loud. Okay, the next song I have on Laserdisc. A format that I'm sure you're familiar with. Oh my god. I keep forgetting to mute my phone.
Nope.
Yep. Somebody after your ass.
Somebody's Snapchatting me live on air.
Somebody has stuff to
I don't
send
even know
to
who
you.
that is.
Darina?
Yeah, let's see. Oh, look. They have an OnlyFans.
Of course they do.
The next song on the 7 Deadly Sins album is obviously Envy. And I got this bad boy on Laserdisc, as I said, a format I'm sure you're familiar with. And let's get into it.
I barely remember Laserdisc.
Hello, this is Ashens, and you're listening to The Sweep.
Daddy White.
A few things about that song. The beginning, the real hollow beat sound, reminded me of, I think it's Michael Jackson's Black or White, where the kid is listening to rock and roll on a cassette player in the beginning of the song, and then the dad makes him turn it down. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I
don't know. Maybe you're not a big Michael Jackson fan.
I am a big Jackal Mag.
I am a big Jackal Michael
I'm a
fan.
Jackal Magson fan.
Yeah, Jackal Myson.
Jackal Magson. I'm not good with all the videos, though. I didn't see all the videos. I just kind of
I think it's part of the song. Because it's the album that he teamed up with Slash from Guns N' Roses on. I don't know if you've realized that some of the Michael Jackson songs have really good guitar, and that's Slash from Guns N' Roses. And
no wonder.
The beginning of the song, even outside of the music video, I think it's actually in the audio, you hear like a cassette recording of somebody listening to rock and roll music. And actually, I think it's a clip of Velvet Revolver, Slash's band. And then the dad comes in and was like, turn down that rock. And then he's like, oh, stupid dad, try this. And he puts in a new cassette and it's Black or White. And then it goes into the Michael Jackson song.
Oh, well, I know that song.
Is that the guy from Home Alone?
Yeah, that's Macaulay Culkin. A very young one.
Then he plays Black or White. Yeah, that is a young Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin?
Sure.
You said Macaulay Cokehead?
Yeah.
He had some drug issues. What fucking celebrity, rock star, porn star doesn't have drug issues?
Is he a porn star?
No,
Oh.
I'm just giving you examples of many job positions where drugs are usually a thing.
Unrelated note. The main kid from Michael in the Middle is a NASCAR driver now.
That is awesome.
It actually races with Cody Camelot, which is one of the people I Watch. I know you're not good with faces. Well, you know the muscle guy that I listen to on YouTube? An Alabama voice. A real thick accent.
I'm sure I have.
Yeah.
If it's one of your thingies, I've probably seen it.
Yeah, you can't keep up with all my podcasts.
You have tons, baby.
Speaking of, we were just watching a VTuber today that I know personally, NocturnalChimeras, and she has a new VTuber model, but she has a podcast. And I am going to shout out that podcast this episode. Remember, every episode we're going to shout out a podcast. And this one is Project Notebook Agency Archives. So that'll be linked in the description and check that out. You can go to creators.spotify.com/pod/show/TALIM5. And back to the song before we get too off track. It did have a little bit of old school techno in the middle. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I liked it as much as the other one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe like a 72.
You're going to give it 72 McDonald's chopped beef steak sandwiches out of 100?
I don't know why, but that doesn't sound tempting to me. It would be if it was like Dickies or some shit.
Well, Dickies is also not good.
It's okay.
You gotta have real barbecue. But, I mean,
if you're starving, it's okay.
At Walmart, I've had the frozen, like, Philly cheesesteaks. They're even in the microwave, they're not that bad. I'm sure McDonald's can't mess it up too bad. I am going to give it 70 McDonald's chopped beefsteak sandwiches out of 100. Also, send this podcast to someone who sharded themselves as an adult.
Haven't we all? Turn that damn thing off. Or at least silencio. Silencio, por favor.
Yeah. It's on buzz now. Buzz.
Mine's on silent/vibrate. Ooh,
buzz,
vibrate.
like a little bee.
No, never mind. As I say, vibrator like a rabbit.
Like the sex toy, the rabbit?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever heard of Bad Dragon?
Maybe.
They sell giant monster dildos. So you can get like a whole tentacle, or a horse cog, or a dragon dildo, which is like the size of somebody's arm.
No! No, thank you.
Anyway, the next song on the 7 Deadly Sins, as you could guess, is Lust. And we got this bad boy on the high fidelity pure audio disc.
What the hell is that?
The high fidelity pure audio disc was a compact disc used for music that was based off the DVD disc.
Was it around very long?
It's basically a DVD that's specifically designed to be an audio disc.
Interesting.
Because DVDs can hold a lot more than CD-ROMs.
That's true.
So, if you can burn it onto a DVD, but it play in a CD player, then you can have like 5 times more storage on it.
What's it doing?
You're just Albert Einsteining.
Again?
You can be like those, you can comb your hair up and be like the troll dolls.
Yeah, I could do that for Halloween.
Yeah. Halloween?
I'm not doing it all the time.
When I was a kid, I used to comb my hair straight up, and my parents used to make fun of me and call me Kramer from Seinfeld.
I could see that.
Yeah.
With the curly hair.
Anyways, here's Lust.
Hey guys, this is Morgan Berry. You may know me as the voice of 13 in My Hero Academia, Madame Charlie in One Piece, or a number of other characters in anime. I hope you all enjoy this episode of The Sweep. Now then, Don, take it away.
And we're back.
We're back. A dinosaur story. You don't know that?
I don't.
That's a movie, damn it.
I know Land Before Time.
It's another cartoon story with dinosaurs.
I mean, I'm autistic, so I'm legally required to like dinosaurs.
You should watch it sometime.
You know what my favorite dinosaur is?
Who?
The Stegosaurus, because he's horny like me.
That makes sense.
There's also another dinosaur. Would you like to pronounce that dinosaur name?
Please don't. Please don't make me. I will have haters.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that either.
What the hell is that?
It's a dinosaur. It's spelled Nigersaurus.
Y'all use your imagination there. That is crazy. I didn't know there's such a thing existed.
Yeah, it's a dinosaur with spikes on its back and...
like a duck-billed platypus something or other.
Yeah, it does have a duckbill style beak, and it has a long neck.
With spikes on it.
But it also has spikes. I think it's a carnivore and an omnivore. I could be mistaken. We're not going to research too much.
How long did it live?
I don't know.
Lifespan. I'm just curious. I don't know how.
Well, it was around 125
million years ago.
years ago.
68 to 107?
Yeah. Bro, it has stats. Like it's a Pokemon. Resilience 56, attack 24, defense 0. Which is weird because it has spikes.
Yeah. Medical dart resistance 106.
Okay.
68 years to 107. Damn, these guys live like longer than I thought they did.
Yeah, I think dinosaurs lived around human years. Old age was like 100 for most dinosaurs. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That makes sense because, turtles.
The beginning of that song sounded like thunder, which got me in the mood for, I think it's Garth Brooks, Thunder Rolls.
I don't know.
I don't remember. I forgot you don't like country.
Right.
The next artist will be country. High five.
Get wrecked, son.
I think it is actually country.
Shit.
The music kind of got me in a Van Halen.
I'm cold.
Remember, scratching is loud.
Nah, damn it. That I was far enough away.
It gave me some Van Halen vibes, and the vocals in this one were much different because the other two songs, I think he had effects on his voice, and this one sounded like he might have been straight singing.
Yeah, I definitely noticed the difference in the voice. I still liked it. I liked it better than Envy, but I don't know if I liked it more than Sloth.
Same. So I think I'm going to give this 73 dino-sized value mills out of 100.
I'm going to do 75.
75 McDonald's dino-sized value mills out of 100.
Yeah.
That was around during the Jurassic Park movie release.
Oh.
So instead of supersize, you could dino-size any mill.
Was that the same thing?
I think so.
Oh,
Just
okay.
with Jurassic Park packaging.
Ah, I bet that cost a lot.
Probably not, because you used to be able to supersize for like 50 cents more.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Ain't like that now. Supersize, $3.
Yeah. Send this podcast to someone who exclusively has sex with tortas.
Floopy floop.
Floopy floops, yeah.
Foopa.
This next song is on one of your favorite recorded media devices. The Edison wax cylinder. Yeah, let's
I remember
go.
you showing me a picture of that. That's
Yep.
insane.
Yep. Apparently, they were just called wax cylinders, but Edison invented it, I guess. So they're also called Edison cylinders. And this may come as a shock, but the next song is called Pride. I don't know if you sense a theme on this album. I did want to say one thing. Going to Braintenna's Spotify, they do have a 2017 album called Braintenna. It's a band self-named album. That was not sent to me, nor is it available for purchase on their website. So you know the rules, we can't listen to it. But we do have their two other albums, and they did just have a single release called Alive from 2024. Probably the ender part of that year.
That wasn't too long ago.
Are you farting?
No, that was my foot. Moving
sure.
the blankies. If I fart, I'll tell you.
Also, I got a shot glass with it.
Oh, I didn't get to see the shot glass.
I haven't got it yet. I haven't got the package.
Okay.
So I might have to cut something in if the package comes and there's something cool with it. We got the digital downloads prior to the package being delivered, and I wanted to go ahead and record because of the overwhelming support of the last episode, so I didn't want to waste any time. Speaking of that, thank you so much for 75 views on our first episode with 2 comments and 8 likes. It means a lot to us. Like, comment, share with a friend, post about this episode. It means a lot to us, and it helps us spread our sphere of influence across the internet. When there's so many things vying for your attention, any little thing helps. Even commenting, you'd be surprised on how much YouTube is like, oh, well, I guess we'll show this episode to some random person. That's the goal, is to have people that we don't know at all eventually listen to this episode, not just a bunch of people we already know.
But y'all are awesome.
And let's play Pride again on an Edison cylinder.
The Sweet Podcast has grown greatly because of awesome listeners like you and your continued support. Thank you.
What in the Jonas Brothers? Which you said during the song you've never heard a Jonas Brothers song.
No.
But the only song I listen to is I Went to the Year 3000. Not much change, but we live underwater.
Why do you know this?
I listened to that one song. That's when the Jonas Brothers came back after being broke up, and they started doing adult music versus child music for children.
That's true, they were doing that for quite a while.
Yeah. last song, it sounded very Jonas Brother-esque or boy band-esque. It definitely didn't sound like it was coming from a rock group.
Yeah, no. None whatsoever.
Yeah, I had to replay the beginning for a second. I was like, what was at the beginning? A little more techno vibes. This is pretty cool. I'm getting a lot of like EDM techno vibes from this band, even though it's a rock band. But not a huge fan of that song, so I'm going to give that 60 McJordan specials out of 100.
I think I'm going to go with like 61.
61 McJordan specials out of 100.
Just really wasn't the biggest fan on that one.
Here's a big question. There is a art exhibit that visitors must squeeze between two nude models to enter the art exhibit. One is a kind of a tall white female, and the other one is a very tall, muscular black man. So the question is it gayer to face the woman or gayer to face the man? So if you face the man, you go meat to meat on him. But if you face the woman, you get to look at the woman, which is cool. But then his meat going in your booty cheeks.
Where is this?
I don't know.
What can there be two dudes on... One dude on one side, one dude on the other side?
No.
Why not?
Because it has to be both. One male, one female.
Well, it better be someone that, my type I prefer then.
Okay. I think you're missing the point.
Damn it, I know the point.
Whether it's gayer to face the woman
going
or face
meat
the
for
guy.
meat.
Okay. Speaking of that, make sure to send this podcast to someone who doesn't wash their butthole properly.
No comment. I wash mine quite thoroughly, so I can't relate.
There are guys that say that they don't wash their butthole because it's gay.
I'm sorry, what?
There are male individuals on this planet that claim that they don't wash their booty hole because that would make them gay.
What kind of Bible thumping motherfuckers are like, what? Even in the Bible it doesn't say that you can't wash your ass.
I think cleanliness. Okay.
Cleanliness.
Can't say that.
Yeah.
It's close to godliness.
That includes your asshole, y'all.
I don't think that's an actual quote from the Bible. I think that's a pastor quote.
Maybe it's implied.
Yeah. So, Braintenna. Oh, I keep wanting to say brain antenna. It's just Braintenna.
Braintenna.
So drop the A. Is a hard rock / metal band. Hold up, son. The first song and the second song were kind of rock, but I would not classify anything we've heard thus far hard rock or metal.
No.
So, hold up, son. Back it up. With an experimental edge. That is true. I do enjoy the change. Every song has a different quality. A lot of grunge bands, like Gwar, to me it sounds like every song is the same song with different lyrics. So I do enjoy the mix-up instead of being just hard rock. Something that Rob Zombie does really well is experimental. Every song sounds unique. And they're based in Chicago, Illinois. Yeah. I got a friend, Cassidy, out there.
Oh.
Braintenna approaches their music with a sense of openness and creativity, often igniting their songs with dark textures, cinematic soundscapes, and high energy. Bro, did you use ChatGPT? What are these big words? On their highly anticipated album,
Conqueror.
I don't even have... That's another album. So I have Traveler and Seven Deadly Sins, and the other one was Braintenna. What is Conqueror? Braintenna explores the boundaries of their genre to bring you raw and emotional songs that resonate to the core. And remember, you can actually buy their music and listen to it along with us. Let's see how much that is for this particular artist. Okay, it looks like you can download each individual song for 99 cents, or you can download the first album for $7 and the second album for $4. So if you want to, you can just download both albums and listen along with us, or you can wait to hear what songs we say are good and then download those songs individually for just 99 cents and then save a few dollars. But to each their bone. Got 'em. Do you know about D&D?
Yes.
Dungeons and Dragons? Yeah, we were playing earlier and we were having difficulties with a Mind Goblin.
What the hell is a Mind Goblin?
Mind Goblin these nuts? Anyways.
I do. From time to time.
The next song on this album is called Greed, believe it or not. And we have that hoe on vinyl record. Remember the disc that you used to listen to as a child?
You think you're funny, huh?
I is funny.
You
Bitch, I'm adorable.
tell me I'm adorable.
He is adorable.
So we both adorable?
Yeah. That quote is from Vegeta from Dragon Ball Abridged.
He says, bitch, you're adorable?
Oh, yeah, because Cell says, you think you're cute. And Vegeta's like, bitch, I'm adorable.
What the fuck?
We'll have to watch Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Yeah! Yay! I love DBZ.
Alright, let's play Greed.
I summon Pot of Greed to draw 3 additional cards from my deck. And I summon Pot of Greed to draw 3 additional cards from my deck. Then I play Magic Force, which allows me to play Pot of Greed once again to draw 3 additional cards from my deck.
That was a little techno-y
Yes, it was.
with some rock. There was no vocals in that one, it was all music. And I was looking at their website, and unlike Basic Printer, which kind of has his stuff hidden, so if you don't click on the advertisement, you'll pay full price for the albums. Braintenna, if you just click, you can get their Signed Traveler CD for free, just pay $5 shipping. Then you can get the 7 Deadly Sins album for just $7 and a free shot glass. You can also get a bandana for $5 off for $15 instead of $20, but I decided not to get that one because it wasn't as good of a deal.
I would have worn the bandana.
Okay, I can always get it some other time.
Okay.
I actually have a bunch of bandanas. I used to wear them all the time.
Me too.
I also read that I do get a personalized thank you note in guitar picks and stickers. So I might have to slice in me talking about those items after I get the physical package. So
I'm excited.
I think I'm going to give that one 65 peanut M&M McFlurries out of 100.
I kind of want to go back up into the 70s again. Maybe like 73 or 76?
You got to settle on a number.
75.
75. 75 peanut M&M McFlurries out of 100.
That sounds delightful.
Apparently it's discontinued.
Of course it is. All the good stuff is.
Speaking of discontinued items, send this podcast to somebody with an irritated foreskin.
Yeah, those are almost just about discontinued.
Yeah.
Very rare.
I'm circumcised, so I don't have to worry about that. That's why for a long time I didn't know how to yeast infection, because apparently if you're circumcised, you don't have any symptoms. But uncircumcised men, their pee-pee head gets swollen inside of the little hood, and then it's very uncomfortable.
That does sound uncomfortable.
Okay, we might have skipped around some songs, so we're going to go back to Gluttony. I got this bad boy on Blu-ray.
Ooh.
I know you're not too familiar with new technology, but Blu-rays...
I know what a fucking Blu-ray is, asshole.
Alright, let's listen to Gluttony.
One of our listeners is challenging the incumbent mayor. I know how you like to jump to the end. The challenger and our listener is Don Hill.
I know that name, but I don't know why.
It sounds familiar to me too, and I can't place it either.
No death.
Death metal! Not really. Well, it did start off pretty hard, and then I don't know what it de-evolved into.
Okay, you heard that too?
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is
I was like,
going
it
on
started
here?
so hard, and then it ended so soft, kind of like my
Yeah.
sex life.
Damn. My bad.
No, wait, I didn't mean it like that.
You hate me.
No, I was trying to make a joke. It wasn't real.
It's okay, baby. I have no sense of humor.
Well, of course you're a woman, baby. Women don't have a sense of humor. That's a man's job. That face, it looks like I have said something wrong.
I like how you know my faces. Faces.
Speaking of, send this podcast to someone who has an alcohol abuse problem. I'm going to give that 69 Grimace birthday meals out of 100.
I remember the Grimace birthday meal. That
I
was
do.
recently.
Yeah, with the Grimace shake.
Yeah, damn it, I almost want to give it the same, but I'll do like
You know you can agree. Remember, Red and Leak sometimes agree.
69.
Okay, 69. It's funny because it's a sex number.
Right?
Okay, we only have one more song for this album, or EP, or whatever it is, and that is Wrath. And we have this on a compact audio cassette.
I think I know what that is.
Yeah, it's a thicker, normal cassette tape, but it has a hard shell.
Gotcha.
Because it's reel-to-reel tape instead of micro tape. I don't know.
You sure you don't have it the other way around?
No, because a normal cassette tape has a soft shell with a magnetic tape strip. And then the compact audio cassette has a hard shell with a reel-to-reel.
Okay.
This is based off memory. I was researching all these stuff to make this stupid joke for the podcast. All right, let's listen to Wrath, and then we'll see what songs we liked best on this album, and then move on to the Travelers album, which is the newest one, or the newer one, that you get free for clicking on the advertisement.
This is L Supersonic Q, and you're listening to The Sweep.
Watch it. They're still hot.
I think that was my favorite so far.
Definitely my favorite. For sure.
I think I'm going to give that 80 Son of Big Macs out of 100.
I think I'm going to go all the way up to 91.
91 Son of Mac out of 100. Well, that's now the highest rated song in the podcast history, as well as this album. So that's interesting. Had big Rob Zombie vibes for that song. I did enjoy it quite a bit.
Big Rob Zombie fan. What's up?
Speaking of, send this podcast to somebody you are absolutely certain has hemorrhoids.
It could be you.
It could be you. You could have hemorrhoids.
You could have hemorrhoids.
Or the Oprah
of
podcast of hemorrhoids. You get hemorrhoids, and you get it. We all get hemorrhoids.
I love it.
I think we're going to do a break because I do want to record the second album with the physical shipment in hand so we can take a look at the shot glass and the note and the guitar pick and stickers and etc. So I think we're going to cut it here. When we come back, we'll be moving on to the Travelers album, which, believe it or not, the songs are named after planets. So the first song will be Mercury because my eager mother just served us 9 pizzas. And that's how you know the planets. My Mercury, very Venus, eager Earth.
I've never heard of that acronym before.
Yeah, well, Pluto's apparently not a planet yet, but justice for Pluto. It was Rob. Screw Neil deGrasse Tyson. Anyways. And we have that song Mercury on compact disc. The good old trusty CD.
We both know what that is. Look, we have common ground for once.
CD's nuts. Twice in a row.
I always see D's nuts.
Okay. Well, we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys!
Chuck Huber here, voice of Android 17 in Dragon Ball Super and Kurogiri in My Hero Academia. I hope you enjoy listening to this episode of The Sweep.
Come fly with us, the travelers.
So we cut off the previous podcast because we wanted to get everything in the mail. Let's say we definitely got everything in the mail, but it has been an extended period of time since the last time we recorded, and I don't even think we can go into everything that we've been through in that amount of time. But we're going to keep it a little light this time, and then in the next episode, episode 3, whatever band we're covering, we'll go into more detail about what we've been going through. But we do have the package at least.
We sure do.
And I'm trying something new, and I'm currently streaming on TikTok Live, DonHill44, DonHill44, just a live, raw recording. Currently have the camera pointed at Kitchen Nightmares on YouTube, because we are both naked, so...
Kinda.
But yeah, so I did get the previous album that we talked about, and this looks pretty cool. Braintenna, 7 Deadly Sins. It looks like a futuristic city landscape, alien landscape, like something you would see on a future Mars. That could be, right? His autograph is really big, KB, with a bunch of alien hieroglyphics on it. Pretty simplistic CD case, but we love it. We're here for it. And then I'm actually going to do the letter at the next song. But you want to talk about what you're on right now, and then I'll talk about what I'm drinking?
It's called Magic Mushroom Gummies, and I tried a version of this before, and it was meh. Okay. This one, for you lightweights, probably puts you on the moon. It actually has like a dosing recommendation on the back. So there's 15 gummies total in this whole package, right? 1 to 3 is like, you know, you're good. You're a day at the office, it says. 4 to 6, day at the park, and it's got this little smiley face that looks a little wiggly. And then they have this melting smiley face if you take 7 or more, and it says day on the moon. Well, I took like 7 the other day, actually like 2 days ago, and I don't know, I was done. I think I was pretty giggly. And then tonight I've been even more so giggly, and I'm sure like the more I've been smoking, the more gigglier I've been.
They're
go. Not the same as the real thing, but if you want something probably cheaper than the real thing, and if you're a lightweight or a medium weight, try it. If you're a heavyweight like me, it'll give you the giggles, so you'll still feel something.
There you go. And I've been drinking some Big Sips, which if you're aware of Buzzballs, they are basically Budweiser's answer to Buzzballs, and they are a competitor. So they don't taste as good. They do taste stronger, but they don't have more alcohol, but they taste a lot stronger. So if you like the alcoholic taste, they're amazing. If you don't, I would stick with Buzzballs. And then after drinking multiple of those, I drank a strawberry, a lime, and then a purple punch, which was a limited time edition. I just switched to a good old-fashioned strawberry Rita, which is only like a 5% malt liquor. But anyways, we actually talked about some of the previous songs. And I know this was very long ago. They were very Rob Zombie-ish.
Yeah.
I think that this last one was as well.
Yeah, I do too. It kind of was trancey. I don't know if trancey is actually a word. Almost like a Depeche Mode-esque.
I don't know if he kept his style, went more consistent or not. We're going to see during this album, because this is the first of 4 songs. So you have Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. So this is definitely just an EP. I would say that 7 Deadly Sins is 7 songs. I'd say that's more an album. This is more of an EP. We're going to see if he keeps that style consistent or if he's going to jump around like he did in 7 Deadly Sins. And also, the package came with a shot glass that you actually talked about during the previous recording that you wanted to see. I think I'd shown you in between the recordings, but currently I don't know where it is. But if you remember it, it was like every song, he wrote the name of every song and it made a 7 on the glass.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, so that's what that was. I liked it. I don't think as much as some of the other songs in the other album.
I mean, it was a good middle of the road, I think.
To me, I think it was more than better than middle of the road. But I do think
no, I meant like out of stuff.
I guess it was middle of the road for the last album. You're correct. Yeah.
No, I don't mean in general. Call. In general, I thought it was pretty awesome.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give it 86 mixed spaghettis out of 100.
86, eh? 75 mixed spaghettis.
75 mixed spaghettis out of 100. And don't forget to send this podcast to someone whose mom got pregnant with pre-cum.
Oh, one day that'll be me.
Okay. Anyways, if you don't know Nocturnal Chimeras on Twitch, twitch.com/NocturnalChimeras, you can let her know that her jawline makes you feel like you need to tell her your parents' sex pattern. So go ahead and go to Nocturnal Chimeras Twitch, let her know that your mother was pregnant with pre-cum, and that's how you were conceived. So there you go. And if you didn't know, Nocturnal Chimeras, the Twitch VTuber, is the person that did the podcast that we shouted out earlier this episode, which for us was, I don't think it was months ago. It's definitely weeks ago at this point.
Oh, it's probably been months.
I don't think it's been months. I think it's been 2 months. I think we're on the 3rd month since we last recorded. It's been a while.
Does that still count as months, though?
No, I don't think 2 is months. Like, I don't think anything 2 is... When I say a few weeks ago, I'm not saying 2 weeks ago. I'm saying 3 or more.
Well, then it's not a few.
Even when I say weeks ago, I don't think I'm saying 2 weeks. It's like 3 or more.
Well, a few is like 2 or 3, but anything more than that is not.
Even if it's something 2 days ago, I don't say days ago, unless it's 3 or more. For what it is in a bag of cabbage.
And a bag of chips.
Do you eat chips with cabbage often?
I don't eat cabbage at all. Fuck that.
Oh, okay. Well,
except in Chinese food.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were lame.
Lame?
Yeah.
You like cabbage?
Yeah.
Well, then you're lame.
No, you.
No, you.
Get wrecked, son.
Fuck off, son.
Ow,
baby, my bad. Y'all didn't see that shit.
It's okay. That's what you get on the raw, uncut TikTok live.
If I fart in the mic, will pick it up?
Yeah. So the next song on the Travelers album is going to be Venus. There was somebody that was going to want to be a guest on the Twitch. I keep saying Twitch. The TikTok live stream, and they decided that they didn't want to be on it no more.
Oh.
Anyways.
Well, fuck you then.
The next song will be Venus, and we have that bad boy on Betamax.
I don't know what that is.
I'm sure you do.
You think I do.
It's fine.
You think I was born in the 70s, but I wasn't.
Doesn't like cheese. So you'd have starved in the 70s.
It was a good thing I liked cheese then.
Cheese.
We all love the sweep. Am I right, folks? I'm always right. Stupid question. I know.
I got wax on my arm. That's not good. I wonder if I can rip my arm hair off. What?
I think I'm going to keep that in the recording.
Damn it!
So, that song was interesting in the fact that the music was really good. I thought the music was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But he has shown in other songs that he can sing. He has the ability to sing, especially like a Rob Zombie style vocals. This was more emo style music, and tonight will be the night that I will follow you. And he just doesn't have that vocal range. I didn't like the vocals at all. I thought they were trash, and it brings down the song a lot. The song's still good only because of the instrumentals. And also, something that we talked about in the last album is that the songs actually had meaning. The sloth, envy, lust, pride, gluttony, greed, wrath. You could hear lyrical meanings. Yeah, thanks for scratching right in the microphone.
Sorry! It itches!
Wow, it's been 2 months and you've forgotten basic podcast etiquette.
Yep. I am swine.
Those last songs actually had meaning to the titles that they had. This, I don't know what the
relevance is?
Yeah.
What?
Of you rubbing your arms.
Damn it. I will just sit here.
You're supposed to. That's the whole point. You're supposed to do whatever you want during the song, and then you talk during the talk. I'm going to pull out my cock and just start jacking off on podcast. Is that what you want?
I think it'd be hilarious. You should go live.
Yeah. Well, I am live.
With your cock out.
No, we're going to just watch Kitchen Nightmares. You know, somebody's still Black Cam co-hosting
G-Fly?
with us. Yeah, G-Fly is chilling.
I don't know who G-Fly is.
I don't either.
Is that like a G6?
Sure. I'm going to give that a really low score because of the vocals of 70 Mighty Kids Mills out of 100.
You were generous. Because I was going to go like, I don't know if 57 is... Yeah, 57.
Ooh, that's basic printer numbers. Since we recorded the last section of this podcast, the basic printer interview came out probably a long time ago at this point. And guess what? Basic printer knows Braintenna.
No shit.
Yeah, Braintenna. Well, hold on. Let me not put words in his mouth. Basic printer said that he teaches people how to do the marketing strategy that he invented of like giving out free CDs.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that Braintenna was a person that he knew. Doesn't mean that Braintenna was a student of his and that he mimicked the strategy. That's what I think he alluded to, but technically he didn't say that. Braintenna, I would love to have an interview with you. If I ever do have an interview with you, I will do the same thing that I did with Basic Printer, and I will do a mimic song of your style, and I will say this is blah, 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 in the style of Braintenna. So just let me know. Hopefully we can do an interview. So I talked about the shotgun, and we talked about
the shotgun. Shot glass?
I talked about the shot glass, yeah.
They gave us our own shotgun.
Yeah. Yeah, if you actually go to the Braintenna website, you can purchase a firearm regardless of what state you are. And they will ship it to you. This is facts, and this is not any...
Are you looking for the word?
Yeah.
He's thinking real hard, ladies and gentlemen.
Not sarcasm.
Irony?
This is not parody. But the second album's pretty cool. It looks like it's a bunch of statue-style things with aliens in between. On Mars. I know I talked about Mars on the other album. The other album looks more lively. This is more red tinted.
This looks like it could be like Mars or like one of the moons.
Ooh. Compared to Basic Printer, this is a lot of people. Kyle Body, Jason Antropodus, Kyle Biddy, Steve Sumgale, The House Records, Ditch Publishing. Okay. Taylor Franklin, Ethon Projects. A lot more people than we were used with Basic Printer.
He digresses.
All I'm asking is to make sure to send this podcast to somebody that is secretly a pink dragon furry, and they go to furry conventions, specifically in Tennessee.
Why Tennessee?
Because that's where Big Gay Chris is from.
Shout out to Big Gay Chris.
Which he might live in Texas pretty soon.
Whoop-whoop.
Hashtag doxed. So also with the CD, we were given this cool... Oh, this is Drowning Pool.
Oh, I have my pick. Hold on.
Do we have a pick? Did I put the Braintenna pick inside of the... Wait, where did you get this from?
You gave it to me.
Oh.
I got it. That is Drowning Pool.
It is.
But, I had Braintenna.
I think I accidentally put the Braintenna pick inside of the Drowning Pool thing I have outside of my room.
Good thing I kept it.
No, because I had two, right? That's why I gave you one.
Mm-hmm.
I think the other one is in the Drowning Pool photo that I have.
Oh, Lordy.
Okay, so yeah, this is just a white pick that says Braintenna. Here you go.
I mean, it's not like the thinnest or the thickest. It's a nice little, like, medium of the road pick as far as, like, you know.
And then we got 4 stickers of Braintenna that is from the Travelers album. The album art that we just talked about where it looks like a bunch of statues and it's aliens. So you can have one of these. All right. And then after the next song, I am going to finally read the letter that Braintenna sent me with the albums. Until then, we are going to listen to the Travelers album song Earth. And we're going to listen to it on DVD audio.
No, I was alive for that, I think.
Yeah. This is pretty recent-ish.
So you were alive for it too?
Yes.
Yay! Something that we have in common.
It's just a
Because I'm so old.
You are so old.
Fuck.
But it's just a DVD that's used for audio. Because a CD can, I think, do 180 minutes? No. A CD can only do 60 minutes, but a DVD can do 180 minutes. So they have DVD audio disc that are strictly for just burning CDs. They're just at a higher amount. Which I don't understand why to this day in 2025 you have a best of Kiss, right? And it's 3 CDs. It could just be 1 DVD audio.
So why don't they?
I don't know. That is a good question.
Smarter, not harder, people.
If our podcast ever gets big enough, we'll have Gene Simmons on and he can explain it to us.
You know, I told people in high school that I was his niece. And people actually believe me. That's how stupid high schoolers are.
I would believe it too. Your tongue is very large.
That's why it was believable.
Plus, he's also from Israel, so.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. Hey, Google, where is Gene Simmons from?
Gene Simmons was born in Haifa, Israel.
Yeah, he's Middle Eastern just like you.
Yeah.
Terrorist.
It's... At least I know how to make bombs. Just kidding.
Oh, this person wants to join now. Okay. Oh, they're both in now. Both black screens. Oh, no, she's not a black screen. She's licking her nails. Anyways. All right, guys. No, we're going to the next song.
Yeah, we were going to the next one.
We're doing Earth on DVD audio.
We're good.
Oh, hi, everybody. This is Greg Sestero from The Room, and you are listening to The Sweep. Enjoy.
Initiating target sequence. 5 meters away. Relative velocity is nominal.
Ooh, you're still holding that hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I talked about in that song that I wasn't sure what style it was, and you said like grunge a little bit, but I was trying a specific band because throughout the entire time we've been talking about them, they've been very Rob Zombie-ish, right? But I think that was like Foo Fighters or Perfect Circle is the best way I can describe them.
APC-ish.
Compared to Basic Printer in our first episode, Braintenna has been so unique in all their songs. which is really rare, I feel like, in mainstream media, and I thought was less common in underrated media, but apparently a lot of other bands that I listen to are very consistent in their work, despite being unrecognized. So they don't really have that success meter to chase when they put out a song that everybody likes and just replicate that song over and over again. They just don't branch out, which I thought they would, but they don't. But Braintenna is the exception in that fact of, like, a lot of these songs are a lot different. So that's pretty cool. And maybe I missed some stuff in the first song on this album because I thought they weren't going through the themes of the planets. But this Earth song, they really were talking about, like, space travel and etc., talking about Earth specifically. So go ahead and talk about your views on that song, and then I'll talk about the letter that they sent in the package.
I think grunge would be a strong word. You said A Perfect Circle, or like Foo Fighters, or maybe like some early 2000s.
Well, originally I said Buck Cherry, and we both agreed that that might not quite be.
No, not quite a Buck Cherry. He kind of does his own thing. I feel brain dead. Speaking of Braintenna.
Speaking of Braintenna, you feel brain dead?
I feel brain dead because I lost my train of thought.
There you go.
So what happens when you do a lot of drugs, people?
Yeah, I'd be like that. What's funny is I hear them, like, I see them talking, but I can't hear them because I muted it. So I hope Chad enjoys whatever they're saying on the TikTok live. Anyways, if you're listening to this podcast, I do the TikTok lives of the Raw podcast on Donhill, DONHL044. Hey Don, thank you for grabbing a copy of Travelers and Seven Deadly Sins with the shot glass.
Yeah, buddy.
I don't have the shot glass right now, but that's fine.
It's here somewhere.
It's somewhere in the apartment, yeah. I really appreciate your support. We are in the process of mastering our new EP, Conqueror. I think we talked about this in the last recording sessions before we had the actual package, that Conqueror was the new album that they're coming out with. Or an EP, technically.
EP?
Everything sounds amazing so far. Can't wait to show you. They do email me a lot. So
no shit.
I'm sure. Yeah. Once you sign up and order anything, they email you. Basic Printer emails you a lot. Not as much. But Braintenna definitely emails you quite a bit. So you will know when that new thing comes out.
Because we gonna do it.
Yeah. I'm thinking about printing some vinyls for this new EP. Should I? Email me or message me to answer... Message me
your answer on the socials.
Oh, your answer on socials. Okay. Dyslexia at its finest.
Yeah.
Team match invite. What the hell? Yeah, go ahead and accept it. I don't care. I don't know. I have a team match, though. Oh, they asked me to team match and then decline the team match. Okay.
It's okay.
I don't know anything about TikTok. I draw a Pokemon on here. If you go to my TikTok page, I just have a bunch of Pokemon art. So.
And some very interesting,
we don't
vocals.
Talk about that. Let me know which song hits you the most off of the CDs. Joke's on you. There's a whole podcast.
Yeah, buddy.
Earth and Wrath are my favorites to play on drums. Ooh. Wait, actually, hold on.
Didn't we like Wrath?
Yeah, Wrath is our number one song so far.
And I really liked Earth.
Well, I wouldn't say really. We'll look at the
okay, maybe whatever the very first one was.
Well, the first song that we listened to on this section was...
Mercury.
Yeah,
Mercury was... I liked Mercury. Venus was eh.
I'm sure that will change as we continue to write heavier songs.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, you're not the most heavy right now, so hopefully. Thanks again for all your support, Kyle. And then he has the K and B with a bunch of hieroglyphics. P.S. I typed this thank you note because I have really bad handwriting. Would like you to be able to read what I have to say instead of having to guess. Haha. Okay.
Well, that was very nice.
All right.
He wants us to read it.
Yeah. I give that 79 McPizzas, McDonald's McPizzas out of 100.
79, eh? Yeah. I'd probably say like, I'll do 70. It wasn't my favorite so far, but it was definitely not my least favorite so far.
Okay. Well, your favorite is Wrath.
I'm in on this this particular EP.
I got you. So 70 McDonald's McPizzas out of 100. And we just want to let you know to make sure to send this podcast to someone whose baby daddy is a convicted felon.
So not my baby daddies, but I do know some baby daddies that are convicted
How many
felons.
baby daddies do you have?
How many children do I have, dear?
3.
We're the other 2.
You have Sky, Dexter.
Nah.
There was a first dog. I forgot their name. You talk about them sometimes.
Oreo.
There you go. See? 3 children.
Only one of them is still alive.
Okay, let's not.
I don't like that.
I love you.
I love you too.
Alright, one more song on this album. Unless this song is a banger, I have a feeling that Wrath is probably going to be our most favorite song by Braintenna. And good news, we have the Travelers album Mars Song on RCA tape cartridge.
Huh?
The RCA tape cartridge.
I remember cassette tapes, not cartridges. I'm not as old as he thinks, y'all.
You are.
You know what? Older people have wisdom and younger people are stupid.
I'm beautiful.
You can be beautiful and stupid.
The RCA tape cartridge is a magnetic tape audio format that was designed to offer stereo quarter-inch reel-to-reel recording quality in convenient format for the consumer market.
It's 1958. Well, no wonder I didn't know what the hell that was.
Yeah, it was discontinued in 1964. That's only a few years after you were born. You would have starved in the 70s.
I like cheese. You cut the cheese quite often.
Anyways, we'll see you on the next song.
Hey there, this is Christopher Guerrero. Enjoy this episode of The Sweep.
Hey, yo, what the
Yeah, take that big puff on that pen. That wax pen that you just got because you broke the other one because you're clumsy.
It shorted out.
Oh, yeah, sure it did.
It shorted out between my legs.
I hope the people that you return this to hear this podcast is like, wait a second, this is fraud.
No. And I'm not going to tell them either.
I'm sure. Anywho.
Be like, I need to return this. Oh, by the way, here's our podcast where I'm outing myself.
We had a discussion in the meantime about the vocals again. I was like, this is good music, but I don't like the vocals. So, Braintenna, I'm assuming you're watching this because why wouldn't you? If somebody did a deep dive into all my music, I would watch it. I'm going to say this, and I don't mean to be mean, but I feel like your success to music is to create a band where you're not the lead vocalist, but you do a majority of the music. And then you do songs that are Rob Zombie-ish. By that I mean like grungy, lower vocal range. I want to say trash music, but that's not the thing. That's not the...
What are you trying to say?
I don't know. Like, I want to say trash, but that's not the right term. Just like deep in the trenches, garage band. And I feel like Braintenna does really well. Like Dracula by Rob Zombie. Braintenna's probably done that drum-wise on his YouTube channel. I've noticed on his YouTube channel he doesn't do a lot of singing, but he does a lot of drums. I bet you if Braintenna did a cover of Dracula, it would sound amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I even feel like some AC/DC, like Back in Black, TNT, would sound really good. But he seems to want to do this like mid-2000s, or even like, let's go back in time to like 80s Poison style music. Or not even music, not music. Because he still does the same hardcore instrumentals. But he seems to want to sing like this 80s hair band and then going forward to like this mid-2000s like grunge band, and he just doesn't have the vocal range for it. So I feel like Braintenna going forward, if he got a lead singer for the band that wasn't him, then the lead singer could do 5-ish songs on the album if they had a better range. And then an album could be 9 songs, and then Braintenna, the drummer, which is what they're best at, could do the other 4 songs, right? Because even in Kiss, there were songs on the Kiss albums that other band members sang. The drummer sang, but Gene Simmons and Ace Frehley, right? Guitarist and bass, yeah. They sung the majority of the songs, but even so, the drummer had a few songs that he sung. So, I feel like that's the best case forward. But what do I know? I'm just a guy on the internet that has a podcast. But that's my recommendation. Take it for what you will. And I agree with Cookie Monster that it was not as bad as Venus. But it was bad. So I am going to give that. But you know what? Actually, I don't think the instrumentals was as good as Venus, but I feel like the vocals weren't as bad. So I gave that a 70. I'm going to give it 75 wild berry smoothies from McDonald's out of 100.
I was going to do 67, I think.
You're the one that said it wasn't as bad.
No. Oh, damn it.
Or vocal-wise. But yeah, the instrumentals, I think were lacking.
Yeah, I thought the vocals were better than Venus, but...
Okay, so that means that Wrath from the first album is still our number 1. And
still kicking ass.
With me saying it's an 80 and you saying it's a 91. But
he's experts. No, just kidding.
Before we wrap it up, guys, just send this podcast to somebody you want to get hot wings with, but you'd also let hit raw. And
that'd be you!
And let them decide which one. Again, in the next episode, we'll talk about what's been going on the entire time in between these 2 recordings. But right now, I want to get this episode out. And I've had Braintenna wait for way too long. And
sorry. We apologize immensely.
I can't wait to let you hear all of our thoughts about your songs. And hopefully I'll see an interview soon. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy, and we'll see all of you in the next episode. Episode 3.
Bye, guys! It's been fun!
Arigato gozaimasu. Haben einen guten Tag. Tu madre es pollo.
Oh my god, hang on. I think we have to read Don Hill's joke there with the music. Wait for it. We're even going to go with the background. I was at the dentist the other day and he says to me, "This might sting a little bit. Are you prepared?" I said yes. He then went on to say, "I am sleeping with your wife."